Hi guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have a book outlet unboxing. So this was purchased during the Boxing Day sale, the day after Christmas. So as of my reading resolutions for 2020, this does not count as stuff purchased in January. So we are free to open this up and enjoy the books without having to feel like I need to read extra books to make up for it. But basically everything that I purchased like after this does count for my 2020 reading resolutions. So this is probably going to be like the biggest haul I have for a while. So we're gonna get right into it because I'm very excited for some of the titles in here. So now I know I mentioned in my last, I think it was the last December vlog thing that I did, that during the Boxing Day sale I did purchase 9 titles. I'm pretty sure most if not all are hardcover, and it was like 51, but with the $15 off for the Boxing Day sale, it went down, and then I also had a $5 like rewards thing, because each time that you purchase from BookOutlet, you get points that will eventually earn you like money off rewards. So I only spent 31 something on this box, and I'm very excited to see what's in here, because some of these books are ones that I've been wanting for a while, and I just haven't picked up. So we have their good old paper on the top. And the first one that we have is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. This is basically like my favorite, I guess it's not necessarily a children's book, a classic maybe. And I have a couple different versions of this actually. But I also have this, is this the Puffin in Bloom? Yeah, Puffin in Bloom edition for Little Women, which is another classic I actually really enjoy. And with this being on BookOutlet for a quite cheap price, I had to pick it up. I'm currently binge watching through Anne with an E. I've watched the first 2 seasons. Actually, I think I finished it yesterday for the second season again. And then the third season is out, but now I have to sort of figure out when my husband is available to watch it, because he does watch those with me, except for when I'm doing rewatches. So, first one here, Anne of Green Gables, and I'm super excited because these editions are gorgeous. And then we also have this for our end papers. The next book, we have Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. So this is one that I had heard BookTube talking a lot about last year, and I just never really picked it up, but it did sound intriguing. So basically this is about our main character, who I don't know if she identifies as like a witch or with powers or anything at the beginning, but her best friend passes away with a few other girls, and she brings her friend back, but not only that, she brings basically all the dead girls back. And then I've heard this has lots of humor in it as well. I love the cover, and I'm very excited to read this one. Then we have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This one I picked up because it is a contemporary that quite a few people have liked. I've never read a Morgan Matson book, and I don't know if I'm actually going to do this video that I was planning on doing. I really don't think so, because I would have to buy even more books. However, there was an article that I was going to do a video based on that was like perfect reads for like Capricorns, which is what I am, my zodiac sign, and this was one of the books on there that I hadn't read and was on BookOutlet. So it's a paperback. I think it was only like $3, maybe $4, and so I did pick it up. And I didn't know much about this one either, so it looks like the main character's dad was a politician and is in a political scandal, so after that happens, she ends up becoming a dog walker. So we'll have to definitely see about that. Contemporaries are not my favorite genre, but I'm definitely getting into them more, and this one does seem like a nice fluffy sort of contemporary. It doesn't seem too hard-hitting. And then we have Jane Unlimited by Kristen Cashore. I've read Kristen Cashore's Graceling trilogy and really enjoyed those, and this is another one that I've been wanting to read, and I do prefer this nice holographic cover. I have heard that this is very weird, but I do pretty well with weird. So from what I understand about this, this follows our main character of Jane, who ends up going to some sort of house, I believe it is, after her aunt has passed away, and it's full of like different paths for her life. So I think this one has not necessarily different dimensions or different worlds, I don't know, but it's all going to be jumping around to different parts. And again, I've heard it's very quirky, so I'm very interested to figure out what it's all about. Next, we have one of the only adult books that I have in here, Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. So this is a fantasy book that I had heard a lot about when it first came out. This was a very sort of talked about book because it is written by a Native American, and it's based on her specific tribal mythology, I want to say. And so I definitely was very curious about that. Yeah, so it looks like specifically a Navajo sort of mythology, and there's gods and heroes of legend, and I've heard good things, and it sounds really, really interesting, and I'm very, very excited to read this one. It's actually a lot shorter than I thought, but I don't know if it's just because it's a taller book. I just haven't seen the physical book in a while since it came out. Then we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I know the second book of this like just came out yesterday, I want to say. I'm filming this on Wednesday, and so I think it came out yesterday, and this is one again that I've been really, really wanting to read for a while. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I believe it's more focused in the present day, and I believe our main character has cerebral palsy. I believe our main character has cerebral palsy, and so I've heard it has pretty good rep in here, and it just sounds really, really intriguing, and I definitely wanted to pick it up before, obviously, I try and go to the second one. I love the cover. I've actually read some of Bridget Kemmerer's other books in her paranormal romance series. It seems like a lot of people only really know her from like contemporaries. The second one's actually right down here. So I read Storm, and then I also have Spark, which is the second book in the series, and this is like elemental powered people, which I really remember enjoying. So it's definitely like a paranormal romance fantasy sort of series, but I'm very, very excited to read this one. I've heard a lot of good things, a few mixed reviews, but I definitely want to see what it's like for myself. Then we have A Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I have the other Margaret Rogerson on my shelves somewhere. It's down there as well. The Enchantment of Ravens, because I also have not read that one yet. I've heard they are sort of different. People that didn't like the first one still liked the second one, and vice versa. I do believe this, again, is a fantasy. I am absolutely in love with these covers, which means I'll have to take this sticker off very, very shortly, because I do believe these are the Charlie Bowater illustrated covers, and I absolutely love the art. Yeah, it's the Charlie Bowater illustration for all of her covers so far, and I absolutely love it. They draw me in completely with the cover, but then the stories also sound intriguing. So this one obviously sounds a little bit more like actually magical than her first book, which had more fae elements, but it looks like our main character of Elizabeth knows that all sorcerers are evil. Grimoires are books that are on the library's sort of shelves that, if provoked, can transform into grotesque monsters, and when one of them is released, she is blamed for the act, and I think she has to like help sort it out. I'm very intrigued. Again, I absolutely love the cover, and I'm super excited that I have this in my possession. 2 more books left. So then we have Contagion by Erin Bowman. This is a sci-fi book, which I'm very excited about because I've been loving some sci-fi at the moment, and I sort of remember the cover in the bookstore when I was working at Barnes & Noble, but I didn't remember it really until, again, I saw it on BookOutlet. And it says, "Help is light years away." It looks like this is a ghost ship in space sort of thing. Somebody receives like an SOS call, but when they get there, it's like a dead ship where everything is just sort of left where it was, but the crew is all dead, and it seems like obviously there's probably some sort of like disease or something just based on the word contagion, but it is sort of like a ghost ship in space, and it seems like it should be pretty thrilling, and I'm very, very excited about this one. And then the last one is Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. This is the third Maureen Gu book that I needed on my shelves. I previously read I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and I also own The Way You Make Me Feel. I love the fact that the titles are like song lyrics, but this is the newest one, and this one I believe is about like a K-pop star and a tabloid journalist who sort of meet up in a hotel. I don't know if they know who each other is exactly. Like, he probably knows who she is. And then it's supposed to be a romance. This is what Maureen Gu does, and she does it pretty darn well. I'm very, very excited to have this one. So those are all the books, and like I said, basically all of them, so 7 of them are hardcovers that I got for $31.90 something, and I'm very, very excited to read these. I'm so glad I placed that order before I decided to do my reading resolutions, where I have to read 2 new books before I purchase one. But this gives me lots of books to read, so hopefully I'm able to keep that up throughout the year. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up Mondays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!